Hi-ho, fellow armchair Imagineers. Blue Dragon 5 here, hosting the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Muppetational edition of Muppet Debates. Yay! Just, so we want to be an Imagineer's little way of celebrating the addition of dinosaurs, and most importantly, the long-awaited addition of The Muppet Show to Disney+.
We've just got so much Jim Henson content coming, man. It's crazy.
Yes, hence the Henson theme of tonight's topics, which are: what literary classic should the Muppets adapt next? Who should be the next guest on Earth to Ned? And pitch for a new MuppetVision 3D attraction. So, let me check the old Kermit the Frog watch here. Oh, good grief. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet our Muppet fighters on our debate show tonight. Let's go down to the arena!
Woo!
The theater.
Yes, a theater of sportsmanship, for sure. Yes. In this corner, a fighter who even the great Gonzo thinks is a weirdo. A daredevil armed with flying pie. It's Tiki! And Tiki, how is that pie, sir?
It's so good, Dragon.
As I would hope so.
You know, me sitting here eating the pie, Dragon, it's almost as comfortable as Joe Biden and all those memes. It's
Bernie
almost
Sanders,
as comfortable.
Anyway, in the opposing corner, a fighter drier than Uncle Deadly's martinis. A real wild card, it's Jokers!
Hello. It's me.
All right, and joining me in the balcony, Jacob Weil and Monkey.
Hello.
I am Kermit. Definitely not Constantine in disguise.
Because I'm really not Constantine in disguise.
Yes, none of us are Constantine in this game. None of us, no. Anyway, so how are we doing tonight, everybody?
I'm happy. Doing good. Excited. I got all the old crew back, it feels like. This feels like a throwback show, man. Nothing but old school people.
We did it. Yeah, damn right.
Well, we're all together again, and we got a whole crowd. Actually, those are extras.
Together, you could say we're together again.
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 Man, it's good to be together again.
All right, we don't have
Last
the
time I
rules.
saw Jokers in person was in Manhattan. So.
Oh,
You're
man.
right. It was. We saw Avengers. It was fun. We sat in front of the Sonic the Hedgehog the movie poster.
Yeah, we sat right at Sonic's legs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Those supple legs.
All right, guys. All right, come on.
Anyway,
Oh God, the
Alright.
days before the Sonic movie.
all right. Well, as you can tell, tonight's going to be kind of a hurrah for Henson. But before we go any further on this, I should do a little refresher for those playing the home game, and because it has been a while since we've gotten the old gang back together, so I'm going to go through a little refresher on the rules. So it's pretty simple. We got three main rounds in which we're going to go around. You're going to reveal your pick. You're going to give an opening statement, and then it's a felt fight to the finish. R2 here is the bell, which then means it's time for the tribunal to deliberate, and we're going to vote. The person who gets the player who gets the most votes gets the point. At the end of 3 rounds, we introduce Kermit the Coin, if you will, little coin with Kermit the Frog on it. Lands heads, you could get a point. Lands tails, not so lucky, you lose a point. But bear in mind, it's optional, so you don't have to take the option if you don't want to.
I'm guessing Kermit would have lost his tail as a tadpole.
Has anyone actually taken the coin?
Yes.
Yeah?
I took
Yeah.
it last. I took
All
it
the
last.
time, yeah.
Okay.
I took it last during our
Yes,
last
Honestly, for me, it depends on how many points I have going
That's the
into
thing, yeah.
it.
It kind of
That's fair.
usually.
There was a coin flip, and that's why Joey went to the English instead of the Germans.
There was during the last debate. I technically took it and won.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right.
Is there any shenanigans going on with the coin this time around?
All I'm going to say is that, Waldo, the spirit of 3D, has hidden a spare coin in, I like to call the Creature Shop coin, nod to old Jim Henson Creature Shop. That coin has been hidden in one of the rounds. I don't know which one. I don't know where. We'll come across it. We'll check in at the end of the rounds and
One of
see.
the 5, I assume?
One of the
5?
initial, yes, one of the first 5. No, Tegan, it's going to be in the last round. Yes, it's in one of the initial 5.
Well,
I'm just
technically,
checking to make sure, just
well,
get all the
technically-
bases covered.
Anyway,
technically, if you do it on the 5th round, somebody could actually win on that round.
right. Okay, so after the main rounds, we enter the speed round. And of course, it's kind of the big thing we're going to here. The big goal of our little game here is first to 5 points wins. Do you both understand these rules as I have explained them to you both here this fine evening?
I got it.
No. No, I understand.
Okay, let's do it again.
No, it's
All right.
from the top.
That's greetings, fellow armchair
We're not that
imagineers.
far back. They know that.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so let's
so
do the
the
randomizer.
chaos.
Let's find out.
Oh,
Who's
yeah, the
gonna go?
randomizer. We need that. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Do. Okay. Who's going first?
Let's see.
Not me this time.
For a moment before I saw it up there, I thought I saw your name there, Jake, which would have been hilarious if that actually.
Joker's
Throw him
going
in.
first. I'm going second.
Yep. Joker's going first. Tiki going second. Established order. We're gonna see how that pans out. Okay, so guys,
All right.
it's time to get
Order.
things started.
All right, and also just shouting out Claude Ring in the comments here. Nice to have you here, Claude.
Buddy, as he says, MuppetVision in color.
I understood that reference.
Now,
Quick question, just so I know
Yes?
that I'm pitching the right thing. Am I pitching like just like why it should be, or am I pitching an actual movie?
You're pitching like an actual attraction.
Okay,
Well, we're not there yet, but I mean, yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Attraction.
What for
Okay,
the first round?
Yeah, the first round, just it's a little.
Oh,
However
I'm
you
sorry.
want to-
I thought you were talking about MuppetVision. Yeah, for the first round, I would throw in some details if you want, but mostly like a why is fine. Dragon, what do you think?
Well, basically, for example, you have the. Well, first of all, let me say what the question is, then we'll get over the semantics. Okay, let me just say who has what first. All right, so we've seen the Muppets adapt the great works of literature before. We've seen them do folk tales. We've done Treasure Island. We've done Wizard of Oz. We've done Christmas Carol, which begs the question: which literary classic should the Muppets adapt next? Now, again, as I mentioned with the folk tales, we've seen there's the Muppet. The Muppets Storybook Theater, I think it was called. I'm blanking
Classic
on the name.
theater.
Classic theater.
Anyways,
Yeah.
the point being, that's kind of an example. If you want to do something short form like that, you're more than welcome to. If you want to go movie like Christmas Carol, that is also welcome. Yeah, it's a little up to interpretation, wherever your pitch may include. Again, won't really say add or take away, but it's your call. Again, whichever the, basically when they're looking to adapt the next literary classic, which one should it be? It's a little more on just like which one. Which they should go with. You don't necessarily need all the extensive pitch, but if you wanted to, it won't hurt.
Hey, heck, Wizard of Oz was a TV movie.
Exactly. We're up to interpretation here. Okay, let's so Jokers. What was yours?
Yeah. Okay. When do I start?
Well, first of all, just tell us what you have. Like, what was
I'm
your literary-
sorry. I have Frankenstein.
Joker's got Frankenstein.
All right, and I have F. Scott Fitzgerald's great American novel, The Great Gatsby.
That's not the full title.
I know it's not.
How I Learned to Love the Bomb. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
How I
so
Learned to Love
by
the Plot.
Sapphire.
now, Jokers. Now you'll give like your opening statement. Just kind of make your case. Say all the good stuff.
Yep. Mike, who do we start to stopwatch?
No, the round the timer
Let's
happens
stop
during the
watch.
speed round. This you're all.
I'm sorry. It's been a very long time.
Yes.
So my thing for Frankenstein, Muppets hasn't really done anything like gothic or really quote-unquote horror-y. They've dabbled in it. And I think that when they do it, they do it very well, like the Vincent Price episode from The Muppet Show. So I think that Frankenstein is open enough as a story and an IP where they can do a lot with it. I think the characters fit the story very well. And I think the setting lends itself to Muppet humor very well. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us to Tiki. Tiki.
Right, so Great Gatsby is obviously iconic, and a lot of fans have been asking for this specifically because the novel just was put into the public domain this year. So it's up for grabs. It's definitely up for grabs, and I think that a lot of the Muppets can fit really comfortably into the roles. I'm honestly just going to run down my cast list really quick. It won't take that long. It'll take like a minute or two. So for Jay Gatsby, the main character, of course, Kermit the Frog, the ever-elusive, enigmatic Green Man himself. For Nick Carraway, the narrator, the observer, Jay Gatsby's best friend, who better to portray that role than Fozzie Bear? For Daisy Buchanan, Gatsby's lost love, his green light at the end of the pier, we gotta have Piggy. We gotta have Piggy for the melodramatic, ill-fated romance. But alas, who's going to play Daisy Buchanan's abusive husband who she's stuck in a relationship with just by the pure status and financial gains that it brings her? It's Big Mean Carl. Tom Buchanan is being played by Big Mean Carl. Now, who's the aloof, famous golfer that Nick Carraway takes an interest in the story? Well, that role is none other than Janice. Janice is going to be playing that role. Who is the dark mobster that Jay Gatsby introduces Nick Carraway to, that makes Nick Carraway start to question his motivations a little bit, starts to see the shadier side of Gatsby? Well, Meyer Wolfsheim is going to be played by Rizzo the Rat. Finally, the star-crossed couple that the woman who Big Mean Carl, a.k.a. Tom Buchanan, is cheating on, a.k.a. Tom Buchanan is bringing to bed. I'm sorry. It's a love triangle. And we have, at the center of the love triangle is the Wilson family. That's George Wilson, played by Gonzo, and Myrtle Wilson, played by Camilla. We all know what happens to Myrtle Wilson. Not good. Camilla's going to meet a tragic end in this movie. And then finally, observing over everything, symbolically, like the goddamn best piece of symbolism in a book ever that it is, the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg are going to be filled with both Sattler and Waldorf in one eye apiece, just peering over everything and making commentary and just guffawing over just the craziness that's going on. That's my pitch. I think that the cast fits it like a glove. I think that the crazy kind of roaring 20s atmosphere just fits Muppets and the party atmosphere and everything like that. I can't wait to debate this, man. I'm pretty passionate about this one.
All right, let the felt fly. Let's fight it out.
Evan, what say you?
I think it's okay. So my biggest worry for actually first I just want to mention for Frankenstein, it was gonna be with, because I didn't mention my cast, but I did write one. I was gonna have Gonzo as Frankenstein and Fozzie as the monster, and he was gonna have Honeydew and Beaker as two Igors, and Statler and Waldorf are gonna be the blind men. I know that's not in the book, but I thought it would work really well, and some other things. But for Gatsby, I think the idea is okay. I know people were going like super all in on this when Great Gatsby first hit public domain. My big worry, especially with yours, with your pitch specifically, is the amount of death in it. I know. You could.
The chicken literally gets hit by the car. Why did the chicken cross the road? We can make it into a joke like that.
Yeah, but it's still kind of weird for the Muppets. Like, I know that you can say that Frankenstein has death in it, but you can very easily do Frankenstein without any death.
I think you can easily do Great Gatsby in a tone, like in a more cynical tone, like not as cynical as the 2015 Muppets, but kind of as cynical as the show that we're here to celebrate in the first place, the Muppet Show.
Yeah, but
I think that you can do a Muppet Great Gatsby where it leans a little bit more hard-edged. And what you can do is you can also have like interludes, like, you know, showing the Muppets backstage putting it on to show that everyone's fine. You know what I mean? Like you can show like there might be like a whole other storyline going on backstage shooting the movie, where it's like, okay, like, you know, it might have looked like Camilla just got run over right then and there, and that's going to cause the dramatic tension. That's going to cause the Gonzo versus Kermit conflict. But in reality, they're all fine. They're all shooting a movie.
So 2 points for that. 2 points for that.
Okay.
I think Gatsby is inherently too cynical for the Muppets. And I
think
don't
the
know.
Muppets is inherently cynical unto itself.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of cynicism.
All right. I mean,
Like
I think. Go ahead.
Gatsby is like a dark cynicism, and the Muppets is like a satirical, sometimes satirical cynicism, which I feel is lighter.
Adaptation, my friend. That's the
No,
art
I understand that. Well,
adaptation.
if you let me talk, I can also tell you. The other
Right,
thing is,
I'm letting you. I'm debating. That's what debate is too.
I understand that. The other thing as well is that I think that Gatsby is a little bit too story heavy to have those backstage scenes as well, because there's so much you have to pay attention to in the story of Gatsby that I feel like it would take you out of it to like go backstage and have them talk about like a B plot when the book already has B plots. It already has a bunch of other stuff. I understand adaptation, but I feel like I feel like it's a little bit too disconnected from the reality of the Muppets to do something like that together. It's like if Muppets Wizard of Oz did like backstage scenes, like things like that. I know that they did that one cutaway, but frankly,
well, yeah, I mean that's kind of more what I was thinking too with the cutaways. It's, you know, it wouldn't take up a big part of the movie. It would be,
but
you know, more just kind of like just these little interstitials. I'm thinking like something that would take up, let's say, about as much time as something. It's like my gold standard for a framing device in a comedy, the SpongeBob goddamn SquarePants movie. Mic drop right there. But so Evan, I want to transition into yours though.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about yours. Are you going based on the Mary Shelley novel or the Universal monster movie? Because honestly, both of them have issues.
It's a little bit of both. So initially I was trying to follow the novel because I thought that we had to, and we probably do have to. But I feel like there's enough.
Let me point out both of like my issues with both sides of the coin, and maybe you can defend it. All right?
Yeah.
So I think my issue with doing it closer to the Universal one is obviously like twofold. I feel like the Universal one is so iconic. There's so much iconography in there that's already been parodied perfectly in Young Frankenstein that it just kind of feels pointless. Not to mention, like, flat out Disney, Universal, big rivals, Frankenstein, one of their huge monster IPs. You know, like they're still kind of like hanging on to a monster universe and a monster theme park land. So I really think that copyright issue could get tricky there. And then if you're doing it based off of the novel, well, my friend, I am happy to say that my coworker actually just read Frankenstein for his class, and he can tell me firsthand, like I have details about just how different it is. And,
I know.
It kind of turned it into like a weird meta commentary about like, you know, like, oh wow, this is like super different from the book, from the movie, like Waka Waka. I don't know. I honestly think either side has problems. Go ahead.
Very quickly, someone needs to put their headphones on.
Okay.
I said something and just like screamed back at me. Yeah, no, I mean the book is very different than the movie. That's kind of why. So if you wanted to do like the movie version, like Muppet Frankenstein based on the movie, like Frankenstein would be silent. That's kind of why I chose Fozzie to be Frankenstein, because I wanted to talk like he does in the book. But I was kind of I wanted to like kind of like play with both because I feel like that's a way to differentiate it from what has been done. But so the main reason I chose Frankenstein is because I was trying to think of a book that's different. And the Muppets, like I said in my opening statement, they don't really do horror, but when they have in the past, they've done it really well. And Frankenstein is iconic enough where I feel like the characters really lend themselves to Frankenstein. That it would work, and I feel like it works better than something like Dracula. I feel like it works better than a lot of other horror novels. Like we can't do like the Muppets in the Mountains of Madness. The Muppets Call of Cthulhu.
Muppets Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, Pepe is Cthulhu.
Oh God!
So things like that. I feel like Frankenstein has enough leeway where you can easily differentiate it from things like Young Frankenstein. Because, like you said, there's been a bunch of Frankenstein parodies, and I feel like the Muppets are. I'm sorry, there have been a lot of Frankenstein parodies that are still different enough from Young Frankenstein that it works, and I feel like the Muppets is in a good place to have a unique perspective into Frankenstein.
Okay, but that's the thing. Muppets is like just another parody upon parodies. It's like I honestly think Frankenstein, by and large, it kind of fits into that Godfather mold of like, you know, the whole joke of like you could just cut together parodies of it and you'd have like literally the whole movie 10 times over. But what I like about Gatsby with the Muppets, and this is why I think the Muppets actually fits into Gatsby quite well, is that the Muppets have always had an air of social satire to them. And I really think that, by and large, yeah, The Great Gatsby is very cynical, but I feel like it's a satire more than anything else. I feel like it's, you know, it's obviously kind of like peeling back the layers of the rich and the extravagant and kind of seeing that they're just as lonely as anyone else, and I think that's kind of a poignant message in this day and age. And like I said, I think you can work around the death angle. If anything, you could have a really comedic like way to maybe Gonzo and Kermit get into like a big brawl that doesn't end in a death at the end. I still stand by. I think Camilla getting hit by a car in a "Why did the chicken cross the road" type gag would be really funny. But other than that, there's no real like major deaths in the whole movie other than the title character and then Myrtle Wilson. So I really think one can be written off with a gag and the other can be written around. Like you really don't have to.
I'm just picturing a scene of Kermit the Frog getting shot in his pool. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You change up that indie, man. You change up that indie. I mean, that's what adaptation. All right.
I'm an elder god. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna cast the first vote here. I vote Jokers.
All right.
All right, Jacob, where you in?
They both fought really good, interesting points here. I mean, I really like the point Tiki brought up about the whole like you could like cut together parodies that essentially have the same movie 10 times over. But Jokers did raise a lot of good points about like the fact that Tiki really didn't really raise a lot of good points why Frankenstein wouldn't fit, whereas Jokers brought up points like Great Gatsby kind of wouldn't really fit into the Muppets mold. So ultimately, I think I'm going to go with you, Dragon, and agree with Jokers.
All right, Monkey, just for the heck of it, who swayed you?
Yeah, I'd go with Jokers. I feel like that's, I get the sense that's a property the Muppets could do more with, I suppose. And also just throwing it out there, my joke for the Myrtle getting hit by a car scene would be like one of the Eckelberg guys saying, "Oh, what do you know? Our KFC has a drive-through."
No, look, the way you kill that character, if you ask me, is with Tiki's own point that he made with the whole chicken cross the road thing. Is basically gone. Is basically use Gonzo just like is reporting what happens. Is she tried to cross the road? He breaks down crying. What happened?
No, we could have Kermit. We could have Gatsby get shot in the pool by having someone film him at a pool hall.
Well, no, I have a dark answer for how you actually do that, but it's basically our Kermit Gatsby he falls in the pool, but it wasn't heated. And we just, we basically, like you put an amphibian in cold water, it's not going to.
Oh God! Oh,
mean, it's-
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. You basically, that's the way you do it. Basically, of course, it's probably an anachronism. Like, well, the pool wasn't heated, but they kind of
That's honestly darker than him getting shot.
Hey, his pool could also be a swamp. That'd be a cool image.
Yeah.
That would
Just in
probably
the
be
back of
better.
the mansion.
I'm also wondering, like in this picture of Kermit, he could be holding a tea.
Ultimately, all of this is just kind of like, I think, compounding upon the point that the Joker's made. I think kind of that basically kind of earned the point where it was pointed out that it's just too cynical to adapt. It's kind of it might just be just a hair too cynical for the Muppets to tackle versus like Frankenstein, which there's precedent for it with the
Oddly
Vincent
enough,
Price.
I have seen a puppet version of Frankenstein, the book.
Oh yeah. Also, just so you guys know, someone did write a full screenplay for Muppets Great Gatsby.
Oh yes, I know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it on Reddit. I didn't actually read it, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'd find it.
Yeah, before we move on, we do some searching here. I just want to shout out some comments. We have Showbiz Chuck here. Showbiz Chuck says they should reenact Camelot. Claudia goes on to say how Deadly Stole Christmas, which sounds amazing. Honestly, that's the Muppet I'd put in the Frankenstein adaptation. I want Uncle Deadly and there's Dr. Frankenstein.
I really want to do Uncle Deadly, but I also want Gonzo to be Frankenstein.
That's what I'm saying. Well, honestly,
Wait,
I might have
wait,
made Gonzo the monster.
Wait, do you mean who's
Ah,
the
I
my
just wanted-
monster is a failure. Nice.
Wait,
I just wanted.
wait? Do
I
you
just
mean
wanted to be
Frankenstein?
Fozzie. I just want Fozzie to be a monster who is only interested in comedy. That's what showed him humanity was
That's
comedy.
a good idea too. I'll admit that.
Wait, who's the doctor and who's the monster?
Gonzo is Frankenstein. Fozzie is the monster.
All right.
In his
Yeah.
version, yeah.
In my version.
I was just double checking. Some people use the terms the name
Yeah,
interchangeably.
no, that's why
I
he's
got
kind
you.
of stressing the monster of it all, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so let's see. We have a Showbiz Chuck with or not a Muppet teen movie. Is that based on a classic or is he just making a funny?
He's making a funny.
There you go,
Yep.
that's what I thought. Muppets
They
in
did-
Wonderland.
They did do that in the Muppet Show.
Right. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did an Alice in Wonderland episode.
The ZNK channel, he suggested Scooter's glasses instead of the Statler and
I
Waldorf.
mean, honestly, it could be Scooter's glasses. My whole idea with the eyes of T.J. Eckelberg, they aren't literally the eyes; they're just hanging out on the billboard.
And lastly, ZNK, he had a really great alternate pitch for the Frankenstein version, where he said, "I say human guest as the monster. You can't get any more otherworldly than non-Muppet, any more non-Muppety than a human. Basically, if it's an all Muppet world, you had like the human element as the monster. That's kind of clever. I gotta be honest. ZNK,
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
That is,
All right.
that is better, yeah.
All right, let me check. You know what I'm going to do here, just to kind of find the coin faster. I'm going to check my pockets because I never check my pockets first. Let me check my pockets here, and no, it's Loose Beskar, and let me check the other pocket. That is Rula Lenska's phone number. So no, that is no luck there. We're just going to move on next round. Okay.
I'm another god. Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. So 2021 kicked off with the other half of Earth to Ned. Earth to Ned's 20 episode first season, which I didn't know was going to happen, which I was really happy to find out. Oh my God, more episodes. And at the top of the year, we need it. There are a lot of good guests, including Kevin Smith, just to kind of list one of the many great guests from that season, which kind of leads me to wonder the question round number 2. Who should be the next dream guest on Earth to Ned? So not a guest who's appeared already, but like a prospective guest who you'd love to see on Earth to Ned's interview. All right. Okay, Jokers.
Oh, I'm going first again? I thought we switched.
No, it's just you're stuck that way the whole
God
3 main rounds.
Damn it. I come here to have fun, and I get fucked immediately. Okay.
Hey, you won.
I know. So my pitch is for Tommy Lee Jones. Honestly, I probably should have picked Harrison Ford, but I really just wanted a guest where he wanted nothing to do with any of the fun. So he comes on the show, and Paul Rudd is just rugging it up as he does, and Tommy Lee Jones is just there to promote his movie, and he wants I'm sorry, Paul Ruger.
No, it's Paul Rudd. Yes, Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
Right.
That's right. Thank you. I heard someone say wait, and I doubted myself. So I just Tommy Lee Jones is just there to promote his movie, and he wants nothing to do with any of the tomfoolery to do with the aliens or anything. He just wants to go back home, and he has to go on Conan later that night. He doesn't want to do that either, but he has to because it's in his contract. And he's there to answer questions about acting and the new film that he's promoting, Men in Black 4. And that's all he really wants to do.
I think you mean 5, technically.
You're right. There was a 4. I forgot about that.
I know. I hate the fact that he just 2. I can't change reality. I'm not Wanda.
Men in Black World Tour.
Anyway,
so that's my pitch. Tommy Lee Jones is here, and he wants nothing to do with it.
Okay, my pitch is very simple. Lin-Manuel Miranda is here, and he wants everything to do with it. So should be an interesting argument. Let's get right into it, Dragon, shall we?
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, fine. I just want to make sure.
I feel like it's a pretty straightforward argument here. I know the gag that Joker's trying to do, and my argument is that Lin-Manuel Miranda would be actually the perfect person to play along, play right into the madness of it all. I feel like he's the perfect guy to just be absolutely in tune with everything.
Yeah, but I also feel like Tommy Lee Jones would be fully in on the joke.
No, you just said that the picture that you just painted was that Tommy Lee Jones had to go on Conan that night.
It's a scripted television show.
Well, I'll take correction. It is not.
It's improvised a lot of the time. I mean, they sort certain things, but a lot of the interactions are improvised.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. My thing.
You mean in the context of the story?
Yeah, in the context of the story. Yeah.
All right, so I just think that what you're pitching is basically just first of all, I'm glad you didn't pitch Harrison Ford because we don't need to put Harrison through that. We don't need to put Paul Rudd through that.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I just picture Harrison Ford on Kimmel where he just obviously didn't want to be there, and it was really funny.
But I think with Tommy Lee Jones, I think the biggest potential you could get from Tommy Lee Jones is just a meme, kind of grumpy old man. Whereas Lin-Manuel Miranda, here's another thing that I love about Lin-Manuel Miranda when it comes to Earth to Ned. The dude could fit himself into anything. You do an episode about Broadway, Lin-Manuel Miranda. You do an episode about history, Lin-Manuel Miranda. You do an episode about songwriting, Lin-Manuel Miranda. You do an episode about hip-hop, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
But
you see what I'm getting at? Lin-Manuel Miranda is very multi-talented. He could fit.
But that's not going to be entertaining in the context of the show. I mean, it'll be entertaining, but it'll be like every other episode.
Is absolutely infectious. Anyone who's seen interviews with him knows what I mean. The dude is just like a fucking man-child in the best sense of the word. And I think he just absolutely, I could just see his smile and his infectious, just the way that he lights up a room, man. I could just see everything just going right for Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It'll be just like every other interview that he's done, and it'll be just like every other episode that's been on Earth to Ned. I feel like Tommy Lee Jones would be different. It would be funny because of what it is, and it would be different from the other episodes. That's my thing. Where, I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda just being Lin-Manuel Miranda, he does that everywhere.
Okay, a couple things here. Like I said, I don't necessarily think we're just going to get baseline Lin-Manuel. I think he is going to play into whatever the hell they want him to do. If he wants to be a rival to Ned, a la Curb Your Enthusiasm, we've seen him do that. I just think he's very malleable, but by the same time, he's going to be down. I mean, he's just the ultimate, call it just the corporate yes man. But I mean, this dude is entrenched in Disney right now. He will be gay.
That's exactly my thing, is that he's the corporate yes man. He's just there to be Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I mean, he's great. Like, I like Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's very likable. He's great in interviews, but it's not different. It's just him being him.
Tommy Lee Jones argument is, I think your Tommy Lee Jones argument is very niche. That's my problem with it. I feel like it's like a one-off, like,
yeah, but isn't that
what
what Earth to Net is? It's a one-off interview. And I think it would be funny because it would be very different from the other episodes and the other interviews that have been conducted on the show. Where it's less of an interview and more of a skit.
It's not, like, you made the point about, like, Lin-Manuel feeling like every other interview, and I disagree just based on the fact that, like, I feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda would be heightened. Like, I feel like he would, like, whatever he's involved in would just absolutely just get that special touch. The producers would know what they had. And I just think that the difference is that, like, sometimes on Earth to Ned, you've got really, really awkward interviews, right? Like, that does happen, like, from time to time on the show. There are moments where I'm just like, oh, I don't know if this is, like, scripted to not go well or if it just genuinely didn't go well. And honestly, those moments, those kind of, like, awkward, like, I don't know. I could just... I get the joke you're trying to tell with Tommy Lee Jones. I really do. I really get it. Like, to me, this is kind of similar to your infamous argument about, trolling Donald Duck on New Year's Eve. But I don't know, man. I just think it's trolling humor for the sake of a meme, whereas I think Lin-Manuel Miranda just embodies what the show is. I just think he's got the passion for it. He's got the drive for it. He'll be down absolutely anything.
I don't think it's trolling humor, though. I think that it's just a different form of humor from the show. And again, I think that it would be different enough where people would like it. It's not an every episode thing. It's just a one-off, like, different approach. And I feel like if we're talking about character growth for Ned, it would be something like that. Something that would work with that fairly well, because usually his interviews are pretty straightforward. And for the most part. And I just feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, he's just doing his shtick that he does everywhere else.
You bastard.
All right. This is an interesting one. All right, let's start with Monkey.
Okay, I'm going with Tiki. It's like an obvious choice, but nevertheless a perfect choice. And while I definitely respect the idea of doing something different with Tommy Lee Jones, the approach you're taking with him feels a bit too anti-yes and for the type of show that Earth to Ned is.
All right, Jacob.
That I kind of wish you would have touched upon, like, Jokers. I kind of wish you would have touched upon, like, Tommy Lee Jones's improvisational skills, but bringing up, like, if you brought up Men in Black, but failed to mention that pretty much majority of his dialogue in those movies are improvised from himself. Like, Tommy Lee Jones can be, like, the comically serious. You didn't bring up, like, the whole his improv skills at all, which to strengthen that show, to strengthen your pitch, which I think
I didn't know that.
I think that definitely would have helped. I mean, look it up. Like, he improvised a lot of his dialogue from Men in Black.
Good.
So based on the strength of argument and everything, I'm gonna have to go with Tiki on this one as well.
All right, not that it counts for anything. I'm just gonna throw my 2 cents in there. I gotta tell you, I was a little torn on this one because I feel Joker's. I feel Joker's premise, basically the Tommy Lee Jones and the approach was weak, but I feel the argument against Lin-Manuel Miranda was really strong. But ultimately, I mean, just again, because we're happy Lifton's kind of already done on this, I just gotta say it. I mean, it's that it's kind of a big missed opportunity. I mean, I don't know if everyone knows this or not, but Tommy Lee Jones, I mean, he mentioned this once, and it always sounded very sincere when he said it. I like to believe it's true. He has a lot of affinity for the Muppets and for the Muppets, and he always kind of joked that because he worked with the Worm guys and everything on the Men in Black movie, and always kind of worked with puppets and kind of like and effects and everything. And he kind of joked he'd love to do a scene with Kermit the Frog one day. And I obviously it's not the same thing, but I'm saying this is like aliens and kind of the Henson sphere. It's like Tommy Jones feels like instinctively sees like that's an amazing pull. I mean, you have Tommy Lee Jones, who Men in Black, you kind of the straight man with a very funny kind of co-host and everything. It sounds like a lot of possibilities there, and I feel Joker's kind of nipped that in the bud right fast for like one joke. But again, doesn't really count for anything because it's already been decided. But hey, another clean sweep for a round, which means Tiki's on the board. Tiki's got a point, and he actually went somewhere with it.
Okay,
Right.
just a couple comments to highlight here. Claude is suggesting a Hamilton episode, which I love. Yes. And then also maybe Lin-Manuel Miranda along with Alan Menken, which would be interesting. Giancarlo Esposito as a guest star on How to Play a Perfect Villain.
Nice.
And then I like Z and K Channel's comment, not Earth to Ned related, but how is it that Christopher Walken has not had any Muppet-related connection? It's just the Country Bears movie, and even then, that's more Disney than Henson.
Very good question.
But the Country Bears movie is iconic, and I do think those are specifically Walken is iconic in that movie.
Well, that movie's pretty much iconic for the wrong reasons, though.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like within all the wrong reasons, we have Walken being iconic for the right reasons.
Yeah.
All right,
Side note, I just want to mention before I forget again. The main reason I chose Tommy Lee Jones is because I keep thinking of when he was working on Batman, and he said to Jim Carrey, "I cannot sanction your tomfoolery," and I think it's perfect.
I thought he said something really harsher than that. He said that.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure he just said, "I cannot sanction your tomfoolery." I just love how straight and dead it is.
No, I heard that story. I didn't know that. I thought
What I
it
think
said a little
Christopher
worse.
Walken should do is, oh no, Wayne and Wanda have been crushed.
And ironically, Tommy's the more hammy one in that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Anyway, Claudia says he recommended the Animaniacs. He recommended Rob Paulson, Tress MacNeille, and Jess Harnett.
That's
and
another good one. That's another good pool. Yeah,
that's a good one. Just too many guests.
Jess
Unless you
Harnett
work
was
them
in
into
the
the middle
Bears movie.
segment.
Have they done more than one guest at a time on Earth?
No, what they've done is you have two guests, and then sometimes you work in a spare within the little field report segment. So
Okay.
that's kinda what
Yeah,
So I've only watched a few episodes. So
Well,
Like-
technically,
like-
we've had
like-
two with the second half with the certain Magic Act, but that's as far as we've gotten.
Well,
so far.
Did they get Penn and Teller?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Wow! Does Teller talk?
Do you want to
Does
know?
Ned torture him to make him talk?
You wanna know?
no, I wish he did, but no.
Technically, we do hear Teller's voice in the new in Scooby Doo and Guess Who.
Oh, really?
And The Simpsons.
There's
Yeah.
a really, really good documentary series about Penn and Teller traveling the world, and Teller talks a lot in it. But it's all on
That's
YouTube.
weird.
It's a really good series.
Anyway, okay. So real quick, guys. Any particular you wanted? Well, and obviously we know two of the people in here who had what their picks would have been, but panel. Like I would have gone with Mark Hamill. What about you guys? Okay, Jacob. Like who would you like to have seen interviewed?
I'm sure there are various names I could think of. Off the top of my head, for some reason, Andre the Shields comes to mind. Obviously, this is very spur of the moment.
Right.
So-
Okay. Jacob.
I guess if we're gonna keep within Disney, I'd say like Chris Evans.
Ooh, I like that one. Yeah.
I also like Claude's suggestion of Jim Carrey
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
because, of course,
But,
Jim
like-
Carrey's got a puppet connection with kidding.
Yes.
How about
Not
Peter
even
Pan?
pretend
He
it's
actually
Jim
acknowledge
Carrey,
that kidding exists.
where he's just on Earth's Ned to speak out against violence and
Oh, come on,
vaccines.
don't.
That's-
Oh God! Oh
About
God! Wow!
Yeah, go
David
ahead. We're
Tennant.
trying to talk about kidding, man. You're doing it anyway.
I love Kidding. That was a great show.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Kidding's amazing.
Wow!
Yeah.
It's Dragon. Did you hear that? Now there's 3 people on the internet that acknowledge that kidding is a thing.
Yep. Well, when,
Alright.
when we needed you, when it was still on.
What
Did
would
it
have
end?
the singing mushroom from the ET ride as a
All
guest?
right, guys. Let's get into
Okay.
round. Let's get into round 3. Let's get into
Hold on,
round
I
3.
gotta check. I gotta check.
Wait,
the
yeah,
score.
check. Yeah.
Right. Okay. This worked last time. I'm gonna try it this time. R2. You got the coin? What do you mean you don't have it? You had it last time. I gave it to you for. Ah, great. No. Sorry, guys. No go. Next
Or
round.
Muppet Show guest R2D2.
He's always here. Anyway. All All right.
He's not really a guest.
R2 is always here. That sounds like it's something for a horror movie.
He's in our hearts.
Anyway, okay, round number 3. So
R2D2 always finds out.
all right. One of my favorite things to do in Hollywood studios is visit my old favorite MuppetVision 3D. And I can't help but wonder sometimes, what would a new iteration of that be like? So I pitched to you, I ask you to pitch to me as I pitch to you this question. I want to pitch for a new MuppetVision 3D attraction.
You use pitch a lot.
Yeah.
Very true.
Pitch me a pitch of your MuppetVision pitch.
Meanwhile, on Rise of the Guardians.
Right, so Jokers, you're gonna lay out just you don't have to reveal what it is, because again, just give us a title, but just fire into we're just gonna go right into the opening statement.
I would say just fire right into the
Just do it? Okay. Bear with me because my pitch has gone through a little bit of a metamorphosis. So now that I know that we don't have to do 3D. So I'm pitching MuppetVision VR. It is a smaller boutique attraction where guests go into Muppet Labs and they put on a VR headset and they go on a whirlwind tour through Muppet Labs, hosted by Honeydew and Beaker, as well as 80s Robot. And you get all the Muppets, like they're all there. A lot of the newer Muppets too. So you have like Kermit, Miss Piggy, but also like Walter and Chip, things like that. So that's a very basic pitch.
Okay, Tiki.
All right, so my attraction is called MuppetVision 5D. And the extra dimensions being added are the dimension of sound, or I'm sorry, not the dimension of smell and the dimension of touch. So essentially what MuppetVision 5D is going to be is it's going to be a spiritual successor to the original MuppetVision. Almost a sequel, if you will. But the big difference between MuppetVision 5D and MuppetVision 3D, beyond the smells, which are going to be just soaring over California quality. So, you're really going to smell like the iconic, the banana cream pie flying at you, which is going to come back. You're really going to be smelling all the dew and moss and the Miss Piggy scene. Stuff like that, all the various crazy kooky shenanigans. Smell-o-vision is really going to be right up in your face in a very kind of like soaring over California type of way in this attraction. But beyond that, more importantly, there's going to be animatronics up the wazoo. This is going to be one of those attractions that kind of like combines the best of both a 3D film and just an animatronic showcase. So what that means, you're going to have a new Sattler and Waldorf who are going to be fully integrated with the technology to like roast the audience live. So they're going to have like that kind of like Turtle Talk style technology where they'll be able to observe and interact with the audience in a live format. You're also going to have throughout the show various performers come out. We're going to give Sweetums an extended segment because everyone loves Sweetums. We're going to give 80s Robot a cameo on set where he's going to come out and just kind of like show himself off. We're going to reuse Muppet Mobile Labs. Muppet Mobile Labs is going to make its way down the center stage and really showcase that off. Just because we have it, we need to do something with it. There we go. It's a reliable place to show it off. We're going to integrate all these different various, these showcases of animatronic technology mixed with a zany 3D film that calls back the reverence of MuppetVision 3D, does a lot of the same stuff. Like I said, like the Diana cream pie, the Miss Piggy elaborate song number, the elaborate solution to all nations, but mostly America. It's going to be all kind of like remixed in a way. You know what I mean? It's going to be kind of like very similar ideas, but obviously redone, reshot. The 3D is going to be way more crisp and in your face, and we're going to have all the smells everywhere. And of course, at the end, Swedish Chef is just going to blow up the whole goddamn theater. So we're going to have an effect where the roof literally blows off the building. It's going to be a retractable roof. At the end of it, we're literally going to just look up and see the sky, and that's going to be the grand finale. It's going to be a fucking huge spectacle. And I do think that sort of technology exists where you could just have a retractable roof in an attraction. And if it's raining that day, then you just don't do that effect. You kind of do it via the...
Yes, bring an umbrella.
You do it via the scrim. So there's an A mode and a B mode. The A mode is the retractable roof. The B mode is the, a lot more scrims that show off a lot more damage. So overall, that's my pitch for MuppetVision 5D.
All right, I want you guys. I want you to fight like you're fighting for Wilkins Coffee.
Oh, I'm ready. I brought my cannon and my gun.
I think VR is just a waste of potential for the Muppets. It's a really boring concept.
I have one word for yours, and it's overbloated. You are throwing everything at the wall, and so I feel like you're throwing too many things at this while also not doing enough to the show as a show. You're keeping the structure and the content of the show mostly the same based on what you were saying, but you're adding a lot of animatronics that it just makes it more unfocused. And blowing the roof off, it's an interesting idea. Personally, I don't think the technology is there, but I appreciate the idea. So that's my thing. Where with VR, it's like a smaller boutique experience, but I feel like it's a cool, unique. I don't really
think VR works in a theme park setting, and that's my whole thing. I really don't think it's ever worked. If you want to get into like this being a something like The Void, then sure. But I think this is a spiritual successor to MuppetVision itself. I would imagine it being placed within Hollywood Studios.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a spiritual successor to MuppetVision. I call it an expansion of MuppetVision. And I feel like
that's where I feel like our attractions are kind of like differing and diverging here, because I feel like with mine, like I said, I basically did like the Force Awakens treatment with it, where there's a lot of stuff that's similar. But by the same point, the stuff that's different about it, the Muppet Mobile Lab, the 80s robot, Statler and Waldorf doing live audience interaction, that's the kind of stuff, and of course the literal show-stopping finale. That's the kind of stuff that's going to get people talking.
Yeah, but I don't think it's too much in the wrong places and not enough in the right places. I don't think that Sentient Statue and Statler and Waldorf and Muppet Mobile Labs is going to make the show better when the show is mostly the same. Like I just don't feel like you're doing enough when it comes to the actual show.
You weave it together. I don't have time to do a full pitch, but you weave it together, my friend. I mean, this is all just kind of like, for example, when you go to the Muppet Lab, you cut out Waldo. You cut out Waldo entirely, so that's where the Muppet Mobile Lab section takes place, is where in the actual MuppetVision you would have the Muppet Lab section with Waldo. Waldo does not exist in it. We do not need to touch on Waldo.
That's
just one example of where, I go from, I keep the structure of MuppetVision intact, but I flow pretty dynamically from the film that's happening on the screen into the space around you. And I feel like that's one of the biggest strengths of the original MuppetVision, is taking advantage of the space around you. It did that better than almost any other 3D movie at the time did, with the penguins and Statler and Waldorf and everything else. And
that's kind of why I wanted to do something with VR, because I feel like it's immersive, it's unique, it's not something you see a lot, and I think it lends itself.
VR is that with the Muppets is something that's very physically tangible. It's something that you can do animatronics with really realistically and easily. It's been proven to. It's something that we can do in an interactive and groundbreaking setting. The Muppets are known to kind of play with like these interesting kind of technology, and yeah, VR is another interesting technology. But the thing about VR, it's not just about exploring characters. it's more importantly about exploring environments, and the Muppets
Yeah,
just
and you
kind
can
of
do that. You can very easily do that with the Muppets. Like I'm pitching something more
what
fast.
iconic locations that the Muppets have when you like really want to dive into the nitty gritty of.
You can do well. I'm not saying like you have full control over the character. It's just like a small boutique way to do a more immersive 3D like expansion, spiritual successor, whatever you want to call it. So like what I was thinking, and I said that in my pitch, like Muppet Labs. You can do the Muppet Theater. You can do oh god, you can do the sets from the Muppet Show. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, but for me,
Again,
the
I
set.
think with today's issue, I just think that VR in general, like it's a really cool technology. I just don't think it's a proper fit for a theme park space, especially one like Disney where you're not doing an upcharge on it.
I think if it's themed correctly and if it's small enough, which again, I'm picturing this something like 15 seats, so like a smaller experience for like a 5-minute show. I think it's very
Right,
doable, and I
Kinda
think
sounds
it's
like a capacity nightmare.
not necessarily, depending on where it's placed. Like I said, I'm not picturing something huge, and even then, like you can do 2-3 theaters. Like it's I don't know. Disney and Universal have done stuff with VR before. They've done VR Lite with things like Avatar.
You know what Disney's done before? They've done
What?
highly interactive theater shows. They've done animatronics. They've done. Let's just blend it all together, man. Let's just blend it all together into one hyperactive, ultimate Muppets experience. That's a love letter to the original MuppetVision that actually has the tangible animatronics.
Yeah, but I still think that I get what you're saying, but I still think that your pitch is too derivative. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just my perception of it. So
I went too far off the beaten path with it. I would kind of. That's the thing. It's like with MuppetVision. MuppetVision to me is sacred in a lot of ways.
no,
And
I
so-
understand that, but when the pitch is to pitch a new MuppetVision,
like to me, I think that this would like be just different enough where it's maybe like a more tasteful version of, let's say, what Universal did with Jurassic World. Where it's like there's new stuff in there, but by the same token, it's more or less by and large a very similar experience that's just upped by modern technology in a lot of scenes.
I don't agree. So what I picture, based on your pitch, what I personally picture, and others probably don't picture this, I picture sitting in Muppets Theater for 25 minutes while Sweet'em spends 2.5 minutes playing with his paddle ball, and then Statler and Waldorf pick out members of the audience.
Is in a grass skirt doing the hula live on stage, sir. I will have you know. Literally, that is my pitch for Sweetums. He is going to get the spotlight, and it's going to be awkward, and it's going to be cringe, and it's going to be amazing in the way that only Sweetums can deliver.
Personally, I think it's a mess, where I feel like my pitch, again, can be an expansion. You can do something interesting with new technology. It fits the characters. You can do a lot with it. And it's not just MuppetVision. It's not the exact same thing. It's something different.
And I think mine is mine is Force Awakens. Yours is Last Jedi. What movie's better?
Last Jedi.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for years. Yeah, you admitted to it.
I know.
All right, time to vote. All right, Tribunal, Jacob, who you liking?
They kind of both on even footing on this round.
Yeah.
I mean, one's like staying true and updating it for a new generation. The other one's like taking it into a smaller but more intimate direction.
That's why they give us the fancy robes. We gotta pick.
When I think of Muppets, I think of intimacy. I'm just putting that out there.
That's very disturbing, but we're gonna refocus right now.
Love called sex and violence.
You know what I meant. I meant some. You know what I meant.
No, I know. That was an only halfway connected joke.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to pick one based on even footing here, but I mean, based on the general enthusiasm and basically the ability to fight, I'm actually gonna roll a Tiki on this one.
All
right, Jacob's voting Tiki. I, on the other hand, and voting Jokers.
Oh snap!
Yeah, Joker's had a moment in there where he just kind of like I feel Tiki was dinged. Just I feel it was just dinged to the point where he couldn't recover. Just the point of after the derivative point, he basically after the derivative point, it was just stated that basically. Sorry, I'm just gonna lose my train of thought here. Basically, Joker said. So what's the point? Again, basically, kind of through the thing in his face there, where it was just said that we're gonna. It needs to be new. Otherwise, what's the point if it's not new? Basically, the new point that was made. Yeah. Okay, Monkey, break the tiebreaker.
Jokers.
Ah, Rob.
Yeah, I
kept
kind of
the
agree with the
original
derivative
film,
thing.
Rob.
What?
I kept the original film for the most part. All right,
Well,
it's
we
all
are
good. It's all
talking
good.
hypotheticals here.
All right. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
All right.
Yeah, again, the derivative thing, and yeah, I'm not saying Joker's pitch is the more practical one, but I'm intrigued by its difference, by the potential of VR, particularly in a void type way. So there we go.
Hashtag not a theme park.
All right.
I'm saying void way, not the Magic Mountain coaster kind of way.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying void. Anyways, it's all good. It's all
Anyway,
good.
comments. We have some comments.
All right.
Comments.
Okay. I want to see a Muppets version of the American Sings attraction. They covered practically all the songs, and it make a really good use of the Splash Mountain animatronics. Oh, yes.
I mean
this in the best way, and I'm not shitting on the concept because the concept's interesting. What is with the Muppets and nationalism and patriotism in the past year or two?
It's
an American icon. That's kind of the whole.
This is like the fourth pitch for like a very American Muppets thing that I've seen.
The funny thing is, the original Muppet Show is actually filmed in Britain,
which is hilarious when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Seeing K says if the roof blows off, will we see a rainbow down the hole? Okay, here's my solution to that. Here's my solution to that. So basically, what I'm picturing for this roof blow off moment is that you have like it's essentially like a big version of the Tiki Room where you have like the reflected panes of glass, like so you have like one layer of glass. And then another layer of glass, and those two layers of glass on the ceiling, like it's a big panel of glass that goes up on the ceiling, and so like it gives this illusion that there's like nothing, that it's just clear, see through. And yes, indeed, I think through those panels of glass, you could probably get a projection, like a Pepper's Ghost rainbow effect. Absolutely. Okay.
Last thing ZNK says regarding the Star Tours, it actually sounds like an interesting idea. It says they should do it like what they did with Star Tours. You make a second film that can cycle through the main film, but you kind of change things with each viewing. Which I mean, it's interesting. Might be a little tricky, but it sounds interesting.
I mean, I do think it's important that MuppetVision 3D be preserved, even if they just throw it on DVD. Because it's it's great. It wouldn't be nearly
on YouTube. That's about it.
And also one of the last performances of Jim Henson.
That's always been the magical thing with this. Just the last Jim Henson performance. Which Tiki, if I were you, I just would have used the audio and I would have like repurposed it somehow with the Kermit the Frog of it all, and everything else might have kind of changed. But yeah.
All right, fair enough.
All right, okay, so let's go to the optional coin, the one we do know about. Let's go with Kermit the Coin. So let's
wait, did Joker find the coin in the third?
Did I find the coin?
We don't know yet. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna find out.
Okay.
Anyway, so anyone feeling lucky? Who wants to flip? Jokers, do you feel like flipping?
I've been.
Oh wait, right now the Jokers has 2. Tiki's got 1 point. That's where we're at on the board right now.
I am going to not flip.
Okay. Staying grounded.
You know what? I'm gonna risk it.
And yeah, Tiki
Risk,
loses this coin.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Tiki's got nothing. He got not on the board right now. Jokers has 2. All right. Let's see. All right. So okay, I'm gonna try this. Betty, beam in the creature shop coin. We waited long enough. I want it here right now. And boop, beam. There it is. Okay, we have the creature shop coin. So guys, I'll ask again. Well, actually, I have to ask the winner of this round. I can't offer it to you, Tiki. I'm sorry.
Thank you,
Jokers. Once again, now you know Tiki. He's lost the point. Do you feel like flipping? It's your coin. You won the right to use it.
I think it's time for me to flip.
Okay.
Give me that coin.
God.
Yep. I love the physics of how coins work, so don't you, folks?
All right.
All right. Joker's got 3. Tiki's got none. But he's not out yet. The speed round separates people. It can buy it back.
I mean, keep this in mind. I once went into a speed round with nothing and ended up winning once.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Anything
All
can
right.
happen.
We are now entering the speed round, which works pretty much as it usually does. 30-second opener followed by a 15-second rebuttal. Whoever speaks first goes first. And we are taking audience questions. So if the audience has any burning questions, Muppet themed ideally, we will probably use them. And the audience member who writes said question will judge who gets the point. Their fate is in your hands.
When are we getting to the Wheel of Fox?
Well, there's no Wheel of Fox, Jokers.
That's a genuine question. I don't know what else to call the wheel, but I prefer to call it the Wheel of Fox.
You'll find out because it's the next question.
Wow!
Wheel of Muppets.
Okay, what's up with this?
Wow,
Okay.
I'm super surprised by the name of this wheel.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I like to showcase the beloved and interesting side Muppet characters. So basically, you'll notice this wheel is chock full of kind of some of the great side Muppets from the years. Like basically, like the Electric Mayhem is not us because we know the Electric Mayhem. They're kind of a national institution. We know those guys. But this is kind of the fun backgrounds that keep turning up like bad pennies. Like you always seem like, oh, it's that Muppet, and it's that Muppet from there. And some we know by name, some maybe not so much. And now we're gonna spin the wheel here and tell you what. Okay, so Joker, since you won last round, you can decide if you want to go first or second with the
I'm going to
spin.
go second.
Okay, so Joker's going to go second. So now we're going to spin the wheel and assign Tiki. This question's going to be best side.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
Got Sweetums.
That's like one of the 4 I actually had an argument for. I love it.
All right, and just a reminder, so the argument is best side Muppet.
Oh, Sweetums.
Thank you.
There. Got you.
All right, so let's see what Jokers is going to get.
Who could it be?
This animal who I did see.
Who is it? Tell me.
It's still
How
going.
the fuck? Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
The tension is so palpable.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we still like an hour.
You didn't spin it twice, did you?
What the heck?
No.
This is great. This is great.
Still going.
Okay, I think we got it, right?
Please keep going. I just want to see it start back up again at full speed.
Okay. Big Mean Carl. This is going to be an interesting fight. Sweetums versus Big Mean Carl. 2 very opposite names, by the way.
Is Big Mean Carl?
Oh, yeah.
Is he the one that talks like this?
He's the one with the big old mouth, and he eats things.
Big green one.
That's a lot of Muppets.
You're right, but this one especially.
Okay.
Right.
The one that like.
Okay, so it's Tiki, whenever you start speaking.
Okay. Yes, I have an affinity for Big Mean Carl, but you know what? Sweetums is iconic. Sweetums is the original Monster Muppet. I mean, what can you say about Sweetums? He's always got that running gag where he's being left behind. Wait for me, guys! Wait for me! And that's just classic. It's one of the most memorable things from the entire Muppet movie. He's got a heart of gold. He's got one of the most memorable bits in the entire MuppetVision. I know that everyone listening right now, their minds were blown when he walked out on MuppetVision.
Yeah. I fainted when I saw Sweetums come out the first time.
I believe it.
I'm sorry.
Were you real there?
Yeah. No.
Of course not.
No. I've been going to Disney since I was like 1, so if I fainted when I was 1, that would be an issue. No, I don't even remember the end. I woke up and there was a new theater inside. Anyway. What the fuck? And Sweetums came out. The cycle repeated. I was there for 3 hours.
And you weren't even waiting for a Rise boarding pass to come ready.
No, I just kept seeing Sweetums and it was making me faint.
6 nights at Sweetums.
Anyway, Big Mean Carl is really the opposite of Sweetums. This is the opposite of Sweetums. But I feel like Big Mean Carl, he's the same amount of one note, but I feel like he's been utilized better in recent years, especially the Muppets from the ABC show. He was probably one of the best characters on that show. And I think he's funnier than Sweetums, and I just really enjoy his character. He's a lot of fun. He's big, he's mean, he's got attitude. He's a very good receptionist. He's very good at eating. And I like him.
I got very simple rebuttals to that, sir. Number one, ABC Muppets, as much as I like it, it is panned. It is regarded as a flop. And Sweetums is a star player, one of the more memorable people in both MuppetVision and the Muppet movie.
Okay. Reset, please. You're right about that, but at the same time, even though the show is a flop, Big Mean Carl can still be one of the best parts of that show, and that doesn't make him less valid. That being said, Sweetums hasn't really been an active character in about 20 years, and I feel like Big Mean Carl's been utilized better since then.
All right. Also, we'll take audience feedback if they like to say who they think won the round too. By the way, that could also kind of help decide things. But look, just for the time being, I'm gonna let Jacob call this round. Jacob.
I think he had it going strong, but I think as far as closing arguments go, I think Jokers had the better argument. So I'm going to go with Jokers.
All right, so that means okay. Jokers has 4 points. Tiki's got nada. I'm just trying to weigh the options if we should go with an audience question here.
An audience question.
All right, okay. There's a couple of good ones here. Hold on a second. Claudia's pitching us a few here.
I like the classic ABC show one.
I'm just trying to.
Oh, it's the ABC.
That's gonna work though, right? Oh, okay. No, I get it. Yeah. Let's go with that one. Yeah. Okay. So, because Claudia is asking, what old classic ABC show could the Muppets have appeared in?
Lost.
Give me
You got lost. Oh, where'd he go?
Tiki, what are the odds you thought of Lost because of that Family Guy gag with Statler and Waldorf?
0. I would have, when I think classic ABC, Lost is instantly the first thing that comes to mind.
Fair enough.
all these years later, I still kind of live and breathe Lost. I've never not been a fan.
The answer is Roseanne.
Oh,
Right.
God.
So, Jokers has Roseanne. Now, remember, Claudia, you're going to call this round, okay? Now, just remember the stakes here. If Jokers gets this, then Then he wins. Otherwise, but if Tiki wins, the game goes on. He's still on the board. So let's find out. Okay, Tiki, whenever you're ready.
Frankly, I think you can throw literally any Muppet into Lost, especially in-game Lost, and it'd be just as weird as anything else going on in that show. So for my example, I'm going to say, let's say Muppet Newsman. Muppet Newsman is just an average Joe trying to make a living in this world, but the passengers of 815, they're very suspicious of him because of his felt-tipped appearance, and it just makes for another Dharma Initiative conspiracy theory.
Oh, do we not get 30 seconds?
No, it's 30 seconds. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, you had 30 seconds.
Oh no, I'm stupid. I'm watching the YouTube version.
Don't watch them. What are you doing?
I pulled the YouTube video up instead of the screen.
You have 30 seconds, and then when you start
I just heard it
speaking.
at 20. I was like, what happened? Okay. So Roseanne is a very out there show, and I think the Muppets would fit in very well with it. The show is full of non sequiturs, and they did a lot of TV parodies like that. Like I know that they had a skit where the entire cast of Roseanne was replaced with the cast of Gilligan's Island. So I feel like the Muppets would fit very well within the show, and I think it would be a very good joke/cameo. And I feel like the writing of Roseanne lends itself to the Muppets very well. I just feel like it would fit very well, and I feel like they would do good there. One.
Okay, Roseanne is obviously a hot button political show nowadays, and I just feel like Lost has never lost its luster when it comes to just iconography. It's only a matter of time before it gets rebooted. Roseanne, as we know, they're going to do the Connors, but Roseanne herself has never come back.
Okay, A, we're talking about Roseanne in the 90s, so we're talking about it in the context of the 90s, not now. B, I feel like, so Muppets on Lost sounds like an SNL skit. It doesn't actually sound like something that would happen on Lost. I know that Lost is weird, it gets crazy sometimes, but I don't think it fits.
All right, Claudia, again, you tell us who you think won. Hopefully we're going to hear from you. Otherwise, we're going to have to figure out amongst us. But save us the hard work,
Shall we
Claudia.
give him 60 seconds?
Well, don't put the pressure on. He's there. He asked the question. We'll just, in the meantime,
We have a timer here if we need it.
Yes, I'm aware of this, Tiki. Yes, we have a timer. Yes.
Meanwhile, Miss Piggy sings the national anthem.
Yeah, maybe what we should do is plug something and something Muppety that we have coming up within all the Henson stuff.
Yeah, well, we are going to be uploading our Earth to Ned Part 2 podcast very soon, probably sometime early next week. So look for that. I don't think we're going to do it live unless you guys really want us to. Actually, this is good. We got a lot of live people here, so let us know, guys, if you're in the comments right now. Do you want us to do Earth to Ned live? Would you like to be in the comments for that one? Or would you rather us just kind of do the pre-record thing, which would save us some streaming time? I would genuinely like to know if you guys could give us some feedback on that, because I'm still kind of on the fence.
And for those of you not in the comments right now, why?
We have results, and I don't agree with it.
All right.
I honestly kind of don't agree with it either, but I really thought I kind of tripped over myself there, but all right. Thanks a
No, I
lot.
thought it was pretty much in your corner there. I mean, I was kind of leaning towards Tiki anyway on that because again, I think I buy it on Lost before I buy it on Roseanne. So that's just
What?
my 2
So
cents.
really?
Yeah.
No, genuinely,
Yes.
really?
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
I mean, they're like a smoke monster or something on Lost. Why not?
Roseanne is
All right.
full of non sequiturs.
I don't think it's as full as many non sequiturs as you really think if you really looked at it, but I
It
don't
gets
know.
pretty fucking weird.
It does, really towards the end.
Yeah,
of Roseanne.
But I
got
feel like it would
weird,
work
though.
better than Lost, but it's irrelevant.
Anyway,
All right.
okay, the point being, Tiki's on the board,
The
so
Muppets home on the range.
Tiki's got 1, Joker's has 4, but again, just bear that in mind. If Joker's gets 1 right, then it's game over. Then he wins.
Yeah.
Then Joker's wins. All right, let's see. Okay, there's well. Let me work this one there. Okay. Okay, here's a quick draw question. Okay, so whoever says, I'm going to give you two names. All right, I'm going to give you two names, and whoever says the name first, they get that, and they also go first. All right. In light of both series ending in cliffhangers, which show deserves a season 2? Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance or Earth to Ned?
Dark Crystal.
I guess Earth to Ned.
I thought you were going to say Muppets 2015.
So did I. That's what I was
I
waiting
thought
for.
Muppets 2015 was going to be in the.
No, I just now realized. Yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah.
I was about to shotgun Muppets 2015, but then no.
So was
it didn't
I.
happen.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
we
that's
mentioned Earth to Ned, so it's appropriate. So
All right.
that's what I was anticipating. Considering this is more of a Muppets debate.
Okay, I'm down with Dark Crystal though. I'll debate it. Okay, so my argument for Dark Crystal is pretty damn simple, man. Netflix, they just hemorrhage money. You got to put Dark Crystal somewhere like Disney Plus or HBO Max, where they're actually going to really give it the attention it deserves. And I really think that Dark Crystal is just a dark, fantastical. Like, there's so much you can do with it. There's so much lore there. Earth to Ned, honestly, if they left it on a cliffhanger, the cliffhanger could literally be a joke. Earth to Ned is very formulaic. You don't really need to see that much more of it. Dark Crystal, you need more.
Okay. Well, so I've seen Earth to Ned, and I just want more of him. When I saw that cliffhanger, and I saw where he was at the end of season 2, I went on to the Earth to Ned message board straight away, and I was like, "Hey Disney, who do you think you are, trying to cancel this show after letting them make a cliffhanger? Not in my house." So I refuse to accept that there's going to be a cliffhanger, and I need resolution. I need to know what happens to Ned. Dark Crystal's okay.
Evan, I'm literally just going to use my rebuttal to ask you one very simple, straight-up yes or no question.
Yeah.
Do you actually know what the cliffhanger to Earth to Ned is?
That's a no.
I rest my case.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you know the? No, I'm not going to do that. So my rebuttal is I haven't seen Dark Crystal either. And if I haven't seen Dark Crystal, is it really worth my time? Does it really matter? Is that really something I want to dedicate my time to? Why would it win awards if I haven't seen it? I don't give a shit about the Dark Crystal. What the fuck is a Dark Crystal? Where's the Light Crystal?
I'm going to take the liberty of calling this one. I'm going to give the point to Tiki.
Thank you.
To be fair, I've never seen the Dark Crystal either.
I haven't seen the Dark
really
Crystal either, but I would have given it to Tiki.
Nor have I.
I haven't seen the movie or the TV series.
I've really been meaning to watch it. I thought my arguments were very good. I don't know why I lost.
I also haven't seen Labyrinth either.
Anyway.
Same.
Okay.
I haven't seen Labyrinth.
Okay, here's an interesting one. All right. So we're all eager. Oh, by the way, just to answer this, Claudia asked, Earth. Okay, here's the thing, Claudia. So Earth and Ned, it ends on a cliffhanger. We don't know if it's coming back, given this whole second half of season 1 thing. It wasn't just a straight season 2. So I mean, given that it's 20 episodes, I mean, I assume that was just the full season order. So I mean, it's kind of up in the air. I mean, they haven't kind of got word down. But then again, this other news that Claudia brought up is brand new to me. I had no idea. Oh my God, we're getting American Dragon Jake Long. That's awesome, man. Yeah, yet another one of the missing series filled in.
And
not
also
the major ones, but it's one though.
Which also has Paul Rudd in it.
Yes.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. He plays the
Rotwood.
Heinrich.
Rotwood.
Oh, really?
Rotwood. Yes, Rotwood. Yeah. I think of the
Paul
freak
Rudd was great in the Ant-Man movies.
What?
Oh, just don't. Anyway. All right. Anyway. All right. Okay. So it's a point. Okay. Then on to the question. Okay. So we're all eager for the Muppet Show on Disney Plus, but I want to take the Muppet Show out of the equation on this one. I want to ask you, what is the best Henson show? What is the best Henson produced show? Except basically, we're taking the Muppet Show out of the equation. Any show, it can be another Muppet related thing if you want. Like it could be that, but it could also we have we have others in the runner, and some that are also coming to Disney Plus soon. So I mean, we got a bunch of options there.
Fraggle
My
Rock.
choice is down at Fraggle Rock.
I already
Down
said
Fraggle
Fraggle Rock
Rock.
before you did.
Jacob, you call it.
Technically, I did hear Jokers say Fraggle Rock first.
All right, Jokers gets Fraggle Rock.
Okay. Gonna have to think on this now.
It was
He was really clever. He would have baited him with that, but
it was quiet, but technically he did say it first.
Okay, you know what? I don't even care. I know this show gets hate, but I'm gonna fight genuinely for it. Muppets 2015.
Oh,
Fuck
that's
it.
fair.
Let's do it.
I was hoping to hear someone use dinosaurs, but then again, I guess we haven't really seen all of it. That's just kind of.
I'm waiting to see him, Dragon. That's the
I know,
thing.
me too.
I watched it as a child, but by no means did I see or remember all of it.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, the only thing I know about it is really its ending.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. When is it? Is it on Disney Plus already?
It's coming the next Friday. It should be there next Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Heck, I'm looking forward to seeing the entirety of the Muppet Show for once.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Same.
cool.
I'm
too.
so
The-
excited for season 4 and 5.
The long mythicized kind of seasons 4 and 5 are going to be there too.
Hopefully,
Long what-sized?
long mythicized, the long.
Yes.
Well, I
mythology,
hope-
you know.
considering they were never released on DVD.
I
Yeah.
know. I can't believe they got the rights from Grade. I'm very happy that they pulled that off.
Oh,
I just
Lord,
hope
Lord.
that
All right,
they,
okay, back to the question.
I-
All right.
I just hope they're not all cut up.
Same. I'm really hoping that the British segments are there. Moving on though.
All right.
Who's going first?
You.
Me? Me?
Yes.
Okay.
You called Fraggle Rock first, so
Yeah.
Right, we called Fraggly Rock. Okay. So, Fraggle Rock is a classic. It's right up there with the Muppets and Sesame Street as Henson's best shows. I like how different it is from the Muppet Show. I like how it separates itself from everything else that Henson's really done. It's just a really fun show. It has a nice moral compass. The characters are fun. The character designs are great. The world design is great. I feel like it's definitely more iconic than the Muppets 2015. Songs are great. Everything about it's really good. I really like Fraggle Rock. It's fun. Yeah.
I strongly feel like the Muppets 2015 is one of the biggest missed opportunities we've ever had with the Muppets. I feel like if that show would have gotten a couple more seasons, if ABC would have given it more of a chance to grow, it was like, yeah, it started off a little bit rocky with the Denise stuff. I'm not going to deny that. But the show grew into itself, man, and it introduced us to some great modern Muppets. It was the first big coming out for Uncle Deadly, Chip the IT guy, Big Mean Carl, as we already established. It was just a great show all around by the time the first season ended.
Cool. Look, I absolutely agree that the Muppets 2015 was a missed opportunity. But do you know what was not a missed opportunity? Fraggle Rock. They used the characters very well. They ended the story how they wanted to. And again, it's not a forgotten show where I feel like the Muppets 2015 is.
The thing with Muppets 2015 is that I feel like people are discovering it, and the more people that discover it, the more people kind of realize, I feel like it has the potential to be the Firefly of Muppets content, where it's like, oh my god, that's so fucking good. Why didn't we ever get more of that?
Can't wait for the Muppets Serenity.
Right?
All right. Okay. So,
Which Serenity are you talking about? The McConaughey film?
No, the Joss Whedon. It's the Firefly movie.
Oh.
All right.
I'm going to go take a shower. Kermit.
So again, I'm going to put this out there again before we do our deliberation here. Again, folks, tell us if you want EarthToNet live or just kind of upload it after the fact, okay? Because we're going to be doing that real soon. I just want to know, how it should be kind of displayed. If you guys think you're going to be there and kind of get in on the fun, then by all means we'll do it live. Otherwise, it'll be pre-recorded. So let us know.
Also, to answer the comments, I think Fraggle Rock is serialized, lightly.
Yes,
Very likely, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about it. There's a moral, so I mean, it's kind of. Not,
I mean, it does have a definitive ending.
it does have an ending. Yeah.
Change.
I mean,
change.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of Fraggle Rock, but I don't. But I think it is slightly serialized, but probably less so than dinosaurs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a Fraggle Rock lobster.
All right, monkey, focus.
I'm
Monkey,
focusing.
I know. I'm sorry. You're gonna call this round. That's why I need you to focus. I guess you're gonna.
Okay. Yeah, I'm voting Fraggle Rock. Joker had the better argument, I feel.
All
All
right.
right, then that means Joker's wins.
All right.
I did it.
How do you feel?
Right.
I'm feeling, that's a been a tough question for me.
How do you not feel?
That's also a very tough question for me. I feel ecstatic. This is finally years and years of hard work and debate practice have led up to this moment. And just let me know when you send the trophy so I can expect it in the mail.
We have trophies?
Good.
Just in the mind's eye, friend. Just in the mind's eye.
They're participation trophies.
Yeah.
Basically,
Tiki,
it's like the
what's
office. They're little
yearly
yogurt
budget?
things. Okay, we had a ruling, Tiki, in the comments. Claudia suggests doing Earth to Ned live. He says, please. Even. I think that's. What do you think?
Yeah, look, we can do it. We can do it. No problem. Claude, it'll probably be Sunday after we do WandaVision. That's the plan then.
Yep.
All right.
The WandaVision starring Ned and Cornelius. How would that be?
God.
Cornelius, why is everything in black and white, Cornelius?
I think it's a stylistic choice, sir.
Before we head out of here, I want to highlight a comment here. A comment that seems really fitting, just given the kind of the subject matter of tonight's debate. ZNK channel says, hopefully, what with dinosaurs next week, which is coming next week, and the Muppet Show on the horizon next month. Maybe we'll get a new Muppet addition to Disney Plus each month of the year. Says, Lord knows I'm waiting for the bear. I wonder if he means Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yeah,
That's really the only
that would
other.
be nice.
That's really the only other major Henson thing that Disney owns that's pretty much missing from this.
Yeah, I remember,
about
like, back
Muppet
around the time Disney Plus was launched, someone I knew was saying that he wasn't getting the service because it did not have Bear in the Big Blue House.
That's the deal breaker.
Yeah.
I love watching that show as a kid, but even I wouldn't admit that as a deal breaker to Disney Plus.
I can't sing with the moon. That's going to be a no for me.
These mind-breaking Marvel shows. I'm sticking it firm with Bear in the Big Blue House.
I think as far as the stuff like that Disney owns, I think that's pretty much the only thing from Henson that they don't have on there.
What
That is
about
surprising.
what about Muppets Live?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure that
Muppets Tonight.
I think that's what he's also hinting that's going to be coming before
Kill
we
for
get
Muppets Tonight.
Same,
I
honestly.
wanted to watch it for a while. I've seen a few episodes on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
What about Muppets
hilarious
Go to
thing with-
Disney World?
That too. I would love to see that too.
Yeah,
I would
they should
like
put
to
that up.
just, like, a
They put
walk
up
the
the
door.
goddamn Musketeers at Disney World. Let's get the Muppets at Disney World up there.
Disney
I mean-
World one, absolutely. Plus,
Oh
I'm
no,
sure
it's not on YouTube anymore.
What about like some of their live concerts?
I don't know if they ever recorded those. Did they?
I mean, who knows? They might have.
I think what we're circling here is we would love more Muppet content, but also more just kind of original Henson content, like Earth to Ned. I'd like to see too.
I mean,
definitely in that vein.
I mean, maybe a new Muppet show in the vein of the original instead of Muppets Now. Which I mean, I don't mind Muppets Now, but actual new show would be cool
If
too.
they quietly retired Muppets Now, I don't think anyone would complain.
No. I mean, even if they did some of the weirder stuff, like the Jim Henson Hour, like the Storyteller, that'd be cool to see.
Oh
But
yeah.
Or what-
Who knows
or what-
Disney owns that? I think those were on NBC.
Or they could do a reboot of classic theater.
Classic theater was okay.
I mean, I said they could make it better.
Yeah. Maybe.
Let's go
I don't know, there's a lot-
tasteless and bring back Wilkins coffee.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, okay. After
I'm
that,
down
word
for that. Honestly, that's the best idea of them all.
After that word from our coffee sponsors, along with Ham Indigo Blue Tea. Get the tea that's the right color.
With blue milk.
Yep. Again, it goes hand in hand with the blue milk. Yeah. All right,
And the blue macaroons.
Yes. Okay, let's shout out our commenters and blow this puppy here. Okay, so Claude Karinga, good old Claudie, executive
Executive Nehemia.
Nehemia. Let's see what else. ZNK channel. Some guys on the panel with us. Other guys on the panel was all right. Okay, so we.
Showbiz Chuck.
Oh yes, and Showbiz Chuck. Yes, love that name by the way.
That's a great username.
I don't know why. It's just
Very nice
we're very
profile
fond of
picture.
Chucks on this channel. I have to tell you. All right.
Some Chucks and some Yucks.
Yep. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Next month, there's a very exciting and special theme, very Disney Plus related, because we'll be at the end of WandaVision. There's going to be kind of a WandaVision kind of MCU theme to next month's debate. Of course, in the spirit of kind of love and Valentine's Day and all that sort of stuff. It's gonna be nice, is what I'm saying. So definitely tune in for that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be mind bending. We're gonna know what happens at the end of WandaVision. That's amazing. So don't want to miss that for sure.
Well, WandaVision's running till March.
Wait, what?
There's 9 episodes.
I know it's 9 episodes, but it's not gonna. Well, that's great then. All right. Anyway, well, we'll figure things out as we go along. Anyway.
Yeah, that would go into March.
Yeah.
I think I did. I think
one of the questions could be like in regards to what we hope to see in the finale or something.
Yeah.
We'll
The point
workshop
being,
it.
we're still
We'll
probably going to
workshop
go the WandaVision route, but again,
I think.
anyway.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take the wind out of your
Well,
sail.
you did, Jacob. You just did. So yeah. Anyway.
Okay, Beck, rewind it to before he took the wind out of your sail and proceed and go to color.
Wait.
See you
strike
next
that.
time, folks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I bet you know people say it's a bet you know people say